Hello and welcome to your weekly card pull. My name is Alexa and today I'm doing a reading for the week of October 5th through October 11th, 2025. Today I used the Rumi Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild. I love the messages that came up for the week ahead. It looks like this upcoming week, some of you may be grappling with some uncertainty, some I don't know, this or that, what do I do, here or there. Maybe tension within yourself, some kind of a decision where you feel like you need to know the answers and you need to know what's going to happen next, you need to know what you're going to do next. And the huge overall big encouragement for this week ahead is to let go of the need to know. I pulled 3 cards for you guys this upcoming week and I will explain them individually. So I pulled the Cloak of Christ, I pulled a card that just says 1, and then Whirling Goddess. Especially these second two have really big themes of letting go of a need to know. And the Cloak of Christ comes with a message of needing to trust in the plan of the divine and trust that you are held. Especially if you've been in situations where, for some of you, maybe you're coming out of mental breakdown challenges, work challenges, relationship challenges, like something potentially has felt really heavy and you're in a process of releasing that. We are in the season of fall now, at least if you're on the Northern Hemisphere. So this is a time of release and of letting go and of moving on and moving into the next season, the next chapter. And in the process of doing that, we start shedding what no longer serves us. And some of us may be shedding things that no longer serve us in the way of mentalities or situations or people, places, things, objects. I'm getting objects for a lot of you. Like maybe you're holding on to some clothing or some manuscripts or some things that tied your old life in a way that you just don't fucking need to carry with you any longer. Some of you maybe feel called to donate some books or donate resources or donate food, money, time. There is something really massive in the way of letting go of things so that something new can fall into place, something new can be brought to your hands, to your grasp, especially when it's something that you feel like, I want to let it go, but like I don't, and what do I do? The Cloak of Christ really encourages us to embrace that other people have been in a situation before where they have had to sacrifice things to move forward, if you will, or they have had to let go of things in order to move into the next chapter. So for some of you, I do feel like this is going to be a relevant theme in this week ahead. Some of you may be in a state where you are feeling tired or you have been feeling tired. Maybe you feel like you have a struggle that is just wearing you out, your mind, your body, your soul. Some of you are dealing with health problems or have been dealing with health problems. Some of you have been having some mental struggles, battles potentially with mental health, or your spirit has been feeling low. And in this chapter right now, especially this week, you are given grace here and now that this may be overcome. Your beliefs are going to dictate a lot about the experience of reality that you have. So if you've been looking for a message that is hopeful and brings you a sense of faith, this is a positive message. Even though I'm saying you're letting go of something and you have to quote unquote sacrifice something, it is very highly likely and highly possible that what you are being asked to let go of is a belief system that doesn't serve you, is an illness that doesn't serve you, is something that doesn't serve your path moving forward. Perhaps you are very used to operating out of a certain mind state, potentially anxiety or depression is something that's kind of overcome you. And this isn't to gaslight that experience or to minimize that experience. It is to acknowledge that this experience, the way that you're choosing to experience life or the way that your body is naturally responding to life, this may not be a conscious choice that you're making. It does serve a purpose. It has served a purpose. For some of us, anxiety serves the purpose of getting us to not make decisions so that we don't have to deal with the consequences because they're scary. Sometimes depression can be a way that we can create a sense of rest or respite for ourselves and for our body. But this may come at the expense of genuinely re-energizing ourselves. The point that I'm trying to get at is there is something that you've been holding on to that may be a part of your identity that you now have an opportunity to start letting go of. And this doesn't mean you have to throw it away. This doesn't mean you have to completely disown that and say, I don't have anxiety, I will never have anxiety, because that may not be the case. But to start detaching from the identity that is so tightly bound to this single thing or principle or energetic field that you feel may no longer serve you as you move into this next chapter of your life. This week also encourages you to focus a little bit less on doing the things that need to be done and instead to focus on receiving that which is available for you. So if you are saying, I need money, I have to do this, 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 if you can change your energetic state to be a little bit more feminine in nature, where you're more open to receptivity and saying, how can I better receive that which is already here for me? How can I better, like, really just focusing on the reception of these things, it might alter the way that you're coming at certain issues in your life and certain challenges at your life. So right now, this week, you have a lot of really beautiful empowerment to shed the things that are not serving you as you move into this next chapter. And as you move into this next season, you don't, again, have to shed everything immediately right away, but I would definitely encourage you to start moving in a direction that feels good and that feels light. If it's something that brings lightness to your soul, it's likely a sign that it's going to be of benefit for you, and to trust that you don't need to have it all figured out, which brings me into the next card, 1, and then the following card after that, Warring Goddess. The card of 1 is really speaking to the unity between your experiences and your spiritual self. There is no separation between the two of those. If you're thinking, well, this one little thing I'm dealing with in my life has nothing to do with my spiritual journey, it actually does. Everything is interconnected, and this card also speaks to the fact that there is, and I quote verbatim, a sweet shift in store for you. There is still an avenue through which fulfillment and resolution will be granted. This will happen no matter how dire circumstances appear or how despairing you may feel. Again, a message of beauty and a message of hope. It is asking that you return to your connection to the divine, again, connection to your sense of perception, connection to your spirituality and your feminine energy. Whether you're male, female, whatever you identify as, feminine energy lives within all of us in different levels. So the ability to receive things, to receive life, is something that I would encourage you to really tap into, as well as your spirituality and how those two might merge together. This card also comes with a message that there is potentially a tension or a friction that is living within you right now. Maybe some kind of a conflict that you're dealing with, or a sense of being pulled in different directions and feeling confused because of it. So you may be feeling, and this might honestly be, especially if you align more with anxious tendencies, this experience of your mind scurrying, your mind going all over the place, not really knowing what you need to do, trying to settle upon the truth, trying to figure out what you need to do, where you need to go. You go back and forth. And the encouragement for this week is to surrender this habit, to give this up. And the truth you seek is this, and I quote verbatim yet again, you shall be. You shall manifest your destiny just as the acorn grows into the oak tree. You cannot be other than what you are, and as you accept this, life responds to it. So the encouragement is to focus more on being, again, feminine energy, the art of being as opposed to the art of doing, the art of living as opposed to the art of having it all figured all out, so that you can feel a sense of comfort in moving forward. There is an apparent polarity and an apparent conflict that you might be experiencing, and you might be feeling like, oh, there's only one route that I can take, or perfection means that it's only one of these things. I feel like a lot of you are dealing with this either or mentality, and this oracle brings the guidance that there is resolution and a coming together of all the elements of your life that may have seemed like they were in conflict. So something that you've been trying to integrate is likely going to click into place in this week ahead, and this coherence will create a level of stillness within you. But your challenge is to, instead of focus on forcing this coherence, and instead of forcing this to happen, and instead of forcing an outcome one way or the other, to accept the duality of life and to accept that these polarities exist for a reason, and that conflict, so to speak, in and of itself is not something that needs to be eradicated. One quote that I really love with this card from the book says, "Don't choose either one and believe it is the answer. Sometimes the sacrifice is not one or the other, but the idea that it can only be one or the other." Even the conflict serves. Whatever conflict it is you are having, whether it is about your work, whether it is about your living situation, whether it's about your family, whether it is about your location, your relationships, whatever the conflict, quote unquote, is, and this may be coming up in multiple areas in your life. You may notice this theme. Oftentimes things come in threes. So if you notice it in 3 areas in your life, see if you can surrender the need to have a single answer or a need to have exact clarity, and instead open yourself up to receive resolution instead of going and seeking it out and trying to force it into reality. I really love this because it is encouraging you to accept polarity both externally and internally, and to understand that there is a value that it has for you, and it is not It doesn't have to be either or, it doesn't have to be black or white. And I feel like that is sometimes a very, 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 very hard thing for people to accept, myself included. This message is as much for me as it is for you. So if that is the case, then this is a loving encouragement to trust in the process of receiving the balance that is coming for you and accepting it gracefully. Finally, I pulled the card of the Whirling Goddess. The most beautiful sentence that I think I have ever read out of an oracle deck is here with this card. You are being asked to dance rather than to understand, to lay thoughts to rest, and to come alive. Dude, that's the most beautiful shit ever. For this week ahead, you're being asked to dance. You're being asked to live. Literally live. Don't try to understand everything. Don't try to, again, going back to this one card, arrive at the answers, force everything. You're being asked to dance this week rather than to understand. I will say this one more time. Lay the thoughts to rest and come alive. The need for answers and plans, assurances, and explanations is passing out of your world now. You are not to wait for permission, for explanation, or even for another dance partner. You are being invited onto the dance floor, and you are being invited to let go of any stigma around not knowing. If anyone asks you, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do next? The answer, I don't know, is a complete sentence, and that is an appropriate answer. And if that is your answer right now, that is okay. Anything that feels like it is unknown, or you don't have complete security around what's going to happen, you are unsure of how it is going to unfold, the divine is handling it, and that is a really, really big message for this week ahead. Even though it is likely and possible that your surroundings are telling you have to have the answers, you have to have it all figured out, you have to have the plan completely written out from A to Z before you move forward in any direction, being asked to dance with life, being asked to embrace the uncertainty, and being asked to trust that the divine has your back in this process, that is your objective and your goal for this week ahead. So my dears, thank you so much for tuning in. This was a really beautiful reading. I really love these cards. I really love this message. If you have any questions on this reading, anything that feels unclear or that you want me to elaborate on, please feel free to leave a comment below or shoot me a message at alexab.alchemy on Instagram. I really love and appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys on the next one next week. Have a good one.